Venus in Ashlesha Nakshatra. So Ashlesha Nakshatra is a very powerful nakshatra which is ruled by the Naagas. The Naagas are actually, they're a very interesting bunch of devas, so to speak. Okay, because on the one hand, this nakshatra, and on the one hand, Nagas have the power to inflict poison. Okay, Vishashleshana Shakti is the Shakti associated with Ashlesha. On the one hand, that is their power, which can be very destructive, very toxic. On the other hand, the power of the Nagas and the flip side of Vishashleshan Shakti is the power to embrace poison. You will see quite often individuals who have Ashlesha prominent in their chart. They can have a lot of these negative sides to their personality that with time they are meant to learn to embrace. Okay? And so the Nagas, they are said to be this very seductive, timeless, ageless entity. They have their own loka under the ground, not patal loka, but many layers under the ground. And that place is filled with all of the world's treasures, secrets, secret potions through which the Nagas never seem to age and have magical powers, magical potions. Okay? They're the keeper of treasures. They're the keeper of youth. They have the power to transform themselves. They have the power to take up any shape, any form. So when you have Ashlesha Nakshatra prominent, in any case, one of the most important things that these people have is the ability to bind, is the ability to control, is the ability to seduce, is the ability to influence. But there's also one very interesting ability that they have. It's the ability to pull out toxicity, to recognize toxicity, to be toxic, to fight toxicity. I know how that sounds, but it's like the medicines that are used to treat snake poisons actually contain a little bit of the poison themselves. So Ashlesha is a nakshatra which is rife with duality. Okay, there's a shadow side to this energy and there's a very positive sattvic side, powerful side to this energy that deals with healing. When you put Venus here, now suddenly everything that has to do anything with regards to relationships, with regards to finances in your life is going to revolve around the significance of Ashlesha. Venus and Ashlesha individuals can be very controlling. Okay, that's the shadow side here. And not only can they be controlling, but they can also be a lot more seductive compared to Venus in all other, nakshatras. Venus in Ashlesha individuals, they gravitate towards the kind of love, which is, how do I exactly put it? Pretty utopian. Two souls in one body, twin flames, soulmates, janam janam ka, sort of pyar that, we will take birth many times to love each other. That's the kind of energy that Venus in Ashlesha individuals quite often can have. They have deep attachments. When they're attached to something, when they're attached to somebody, it's a deep attachment. It can become controlling, but at the same time, there is a lot of sensuality, a lot of sexuality. There is also a lot of spiritual growth that occurs with these individuals as part of their relationships. They're meant to undergo that journey together with their partner in this lifetime. So Venus in Ashlesha, from the perspective of finances, can give you great success whenever you have anything to do with, let's say, managing money, managing vaults, banking, investments. You can also do pretty well, let's say, with luxury items, administrative work, managing a small organization or a small team. Okay, fragrances, all sorts of things which fall in the category of providing some kind of a material sort of a service to others, some kind of a security that needs to be provided to others. So Venus in Ashlesha deals with all of that. Now, Venus in Ashlesha, if it's not working out for you, then it's quite possible that you are tending to move towards the shadow side of this energy. The shadow side of this energy can be very problematic because the shadow side contains all of the poisonous negative influences that you have to sort of learn to keep in check. The positive side of Venus in Ashlesha is that Venus in Ashlesha individuals can actually, if they come into your life, they can actually help you see, recognize, and improve your life in a big way. When you have Venus in Ashlesha and it's in a good Tara, okay, and it's in a good placement, more or less. This Venus is not, being starved by Saturn, or this Venus is not manipulated by Rahu, okay. If you have Venus in Ashlesha like that, in a healthy way, then it's quite possible that your spouse or that your partner or your relationships in general, but especially, the person that you spend the most time with, that's your spouse, right? Those individuals are going to have a huge role to play in awakening you to where you have toxicity in your life and helping you release that. So Venus in Ashlesha in many ways is a highly karmic placement, but karmic doesn't mean bad. Let me tell you that, karmic just means that there is past life karma associated with it. Why? So there's a very interesting story also. People, who spend time in India would know that. If you are of Indian origin, you may not necessarily know, but if you've actually spent a lot of time in India, you would know that in India, as much as you worship Shiva, you also worship Naga and Nagini along with him when you're carrying out, let's say, important rituals associated with marriage. Because Naga and Nagini are actually considered to be a union that lasts beyond births, life, death. The Naga and Nagini duo is said to manifest and, be born again and again to love each other. There's a fiercely loyal association with this energy. When you have Venus in Ashlesha, one of the biggest challenges also in your life is going to be loyalty. It's going to be to overcome your negative traits, your shadow side, your desires, lust and all of that, to be able to apply it in a positive direction, which can be focusing on looking youthful. Venus in Ashlesha, if it's manipulated by Rahu, can also give a lot of luck to look good all of the time. Exotic dresses, exotic beauty treatments, skin treatments. You can kind of even become addicted to having procedures done. But if this Venus is good, it's not being influenced by difficult planets, then Venus in Ashlesha will still give you a lot of awareness with respect to, you should wake up in the morning and, you should drink aloe vera juice. That's very good for your, skin. You should, follow this particular skincare routine. This is what you should eat. This is how much you should sleep. This is how you should exercise if you want to look good, etc. So looking good, looking seductive, looking beautiful is a very important aspect of Venus in Ashlesha when it comes to making money, when it comes to having luck in your finances, when it comes to having luck even in relationships. Okay, Venus in Ashlesha is not an energy, at a very low vibrational state. This can be an F-boy or a, F-girl, whatever. You cannot probably understand the Kundalini deep energy within it early on in your life. Because Ashlesha, the duality of Ashlesha is also the Kundalini energy. Venus in Ashlesha individuals at a higher vibrational state, ultimately they realize it, and especially, after 30. If you have problems with this placement, give it time. After 30, things are going to get better. You're going to realize the maturity that needs to be put into relationships, that needs to be put into your work, your finances and all of that, and you'll be able to do well. Early on, it's going to be a little bit difficult because you need time to, Mercury to mature. Mercury is who rules this particular nakshatra. So Venus in Ashlesha individuals can in fact, practice tantric sex with their partners. They can actually be fiercely independent yet fiercely loyal. Why that independence? Because at the very basis, the Nagas, they deal with the arts, they deal with beauty, they deal with expression. Okay, they have to do their own thing. They're not like mammals. They have their own energy associated with it. In fact, Ashlesha, even I think it's connected with the cat when you talk about the totem animal that is associated with it, which is a very independent sort of energy. So Venus in Ashlesha can give you a lot of troubles if you are not spiritually advanced and you have low self-esteem. But if you are able to build the necessary self-esteem, and if you are able to raise your vibration up high and practice a lot of self-control, in fact. So if you have Venus in Ashlesha and things are not going right with respect to your finances, with respect to your relationships, I would strongly advise keeping Fridays sattvic. Okay? Expressing more of what you feel also is very important, because Ashlesha is a very secretive energy, and so quite often Venus and Ashlesha individuals can love somebody from a distance and never really have the courage to go on and express their love. Unrequited love can be a huge aspect of this placement, let me tell you that. And you think that, oh my god, we've had disappointments because of this. No, you've had disappointments because you fail to externalize that love. Venus in Ashlesha, people can quite often have great plans for their life, great plans on how to manage their finances, but it's like you have difficulty putting that into action. Okay? So, to make the most of it, just practice some kind of Kriya Yoga, just practice on a regular basis some kind of Hatha Yoga. Okay? Healing through consuming the right foods, the right liquids, taking care of your diet, like healing through food is very important here. Find out what juices, etc. work for you. Like for some people, consuming aloe vera juice on a regular basis can be very good for their body. For other people, in the West, I know it's not as much of a big culture there with respect to these things, but over here in India, in the East, especially with the Ayurveda culture, amla juice, okay, bitter gourd juice, you have to find out what sort of food supplements, what sort of portions, quote unquote, so to speak, can work the best for you. And once you figure that out and once you start moving along that path, your natural intuition, your natural healing abilities, because Ashlesha and the Nagas have huge capabilities of healing. Okay, they're going to point you in the right direction towards taking the right decisions. Okay, all in all, Venus in Ashlesha is a powerful placement. Even if this person, let's say, pardon me, is fat and doesn't really take care of their, appearance as much, there will still be something very seductive about them. Seduction, attraction is a huge aspect of this energy. So therefore, that's what I said, self-love is very important if you have Venus in Ashlesha. Without healthy self-love, you are not really going to be able to work with this well enough. So do whatever helps you cultivate that self-love. If you're a dancer, dance. Even if you're earning money through something else, spend time with that. If, let's say, there's something that you enjoy doing which does not directly translate into your work in any way, and it could be demanding, let's say, but you like to engage in it. For example, let's say you practiced fencing in school. Okay, then you grew up, you took a job, whatever, but your mind still goes back to how fencing regularly made you feel, how that compelled you to maintain a certain weight and be fit and show up, and the attachment with respect to your gear and all of that, keep at it. Maintain it as an important part of your life. Because when you have Venus in Ashlesha, a huge aspect of what will make you glow are the things that you do for yourself that you keep secret from the world. That's why I said, self-love. When you have a lot of self-love, you have the ability to keep a lot of things that are good for you secret. You don't really need to brag them, out to the world for you to feel fulfillment or get their validation. No. I do this, works for me. I keep it to myself. I don't want to tell you. Okay. Also, I would say don't disclose your financial planning and your relationships that easily. Okay. Be communicative within the relationship. Be communicative to the person. Take action towards where you want to put your investments, etc. So gemstones, etc., could be a very good gemstones, forex, etc. Could be great avenues to put your money into. But obviously, a lot of things need to be looked at, and I'm not a qualified financial advisor, so that's the disclaimer here. But for everybody else, just make sure that you're keeping important things to yourself. Okay. So that's my analysis of Venus in Ashlesha Nakshatra. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so that you can stay abreast of all the wonderful content that I post here. Push the bell icon so that you can be notified every single time I post. If you want a personal session with me, or if you want to join this channel for exclusive videos and live streams, if you want to explore my holistic life coaching program where I work with you closely on a one-to-one basis, or if you want to check out my astro-life-coaching practitioner program where you can learn from me the art and the science of astro-life coaching, all the links are given below. Check them out. Take care. Hari Om.